But based on that last game, who really knows? Crazy showing that they have the fight.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about Crit on the Ancient Apparition. Doesn't really seem like a hero he plays. Doesn't really seem like his style. This hero doesn't farm very well. It kind of is like a...
Yeah.
you know, it wants to go team fight and stuff, but they don't... they have the Dragon Tail stun from Dragon Knight, but besides that, not a lot of solid stuns. He can follow up on the duel, obviously. But I'm a little bit concerned that the squishy range supports of EG are going to get picked apart by this Lycan Storm Clockwork combo.
So if you're wagering based on the draft, are we looking at potentially EG's last game?
Well, yeah, that's an inevitability of the situation, potentially. But right now I think I do favor Crazy's draft a little bit. Necrophos might have a tough game, but if he just gets some team items, a pipe, and maybe a Force Staff to help kite the Ursa, I think they'll be in a pretty good spot.
He was in that early draft pickup, so expected to be countered, but Crazy still find their way to have Bryle on the Storm Spirit, which we saw him in the first game. He's warmed up on it and ready. And then somehow the Lycan just coasted its way through the whole draft and was at the back end pickup for Crazy.
Okay, I think Crazy's actually have discovered or decided that they think EG's doing aggro trialing, which they are, and they're putting their Lycan in the bottom lane to dodge the matchup, which I think is super smart.
Yeah, we see Owie's already here slowing down Bulba's push a bit with the Wolves. And Crazy are going to be matched up in a good lane to potentially take on this aggro setup.
Yeah, nice block from EG though. Lane through really far back. This is kind of what they want. Let the Ursa be able to run on them.
And we'll see Crit step way out from the lane to not, you know, share too much of the XP.
Yeah.
Tri-lane XP can definitely be a problem for the core. So he's just going to flat out block the pull camp on the side. And then he'll join bottom lane, so they're going to pull away from this full aggro setup.
Yeah, he's going to port bottom. Probably wants to try and pull here himself, but it is blocked at the moment.
Hey, it's got to be okay to go against Clockwork, right? Clock wants to step in, cogs, and
oh, yeah,
do work inside the cogs, but then you're susceptible to getting frozen from the cold feet.
No, I think Radiant has an advantage here in lane. Clockwork can't really get a lot of help from Lycan, so he's kind of just on his own. He's going to probably look to get a couple levels and then possibly try and roam on mid or just stop.
Oh, trouble top. Kezu. Oh, he eats the very fire. One more right click, and there it is. R2 are going to be able to front flip his way into first blood. Salve to survive the tower last hit, and he will lip his way out from the trees. And they will get the pounce on the Necro, but that's like you said, it could be a struggling game for Necro. Here we see in the laning phase. Not a hot start.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a first blood to come up there, but it did.
Excited to see what a 5-position Clockwork is really going to be all about. Owie's a very smart guy, so we'll see how he makes the most of the situation.
Well, Phoenix is kind of like an interesting like 4/5. Like he obviously benefits. Oh, look at the cogs to get the courier.
See, he's smart. Boom. Absolutely comes on the side and happens to catch Bulba's precious courier. That cheeky Clockwork.
Dota's a lot less 4 and 5. You know, supports are kind of supports. Like laning phase is very similar. Doesn't really matter. Like one person's in the off lane, one person's in the safe lane.
It's more about like the supports and their respected play styles here. As you mentioned, the rotation from Arteezy here is they will try to get their favorable lane matchup that they were seeking at the beginning of the game by rotating Ursa down. And now Bulba's going to go to the top. We'll see if Crazy want to respond with the rotation themselves, if we'll just kind of make this work. We see Flying now going toe-to-toe with Moon Meander, committing the early Maldic, just level 1 Maldic. I don't know if they can pepper enough damage to get a finish, but it will force him away.
Yeah, I think this is the right move from Crazy. Making sure that your Lycan has a good early game is really important. This hero has really powerful early game timings with those with the quick Necro book, and he'll be able to make space for his other cores to catch up, especially like this Necrophos, for example, who may be struggling.
Bottom, we see a block crit tried to go for the pull on the camp, but Howie will prevent that, so he will not be able to get that creep wave closer to the tower in favor for Arteezy. Arteezy now toe-to-toe with Kezu again, and he just slowly walks him down. Is he just dead?
He's going to die.
He's straight dead.
Yep, a little bit of a greed build here from the Necrophos. 2 points in Heartstopper, skipping out on the Ghost Shroud.
Oh, Phoenix was also very low top. Moon has to salve up. So if EG are trying to make the Ursa versus Lycan matchup happen, I mean, that's good and all, but he's really making the Ursa versus Necro matchup work in his favor.
Yeah, Ursa is such a strong laner, and this build is particularly good against Necrophos. I do think that as Necrophos, I think you're supposed to get an earlier point in Ghost Shroud. That way you can get out of like bad situations where you have too many Fury swipes stacking up.
Is this still looking like a Battle Fury type of Ursa game, or does Crazy's lineup and the momentum they bring change that at all?
I think he will go Battle Fury. I think it's actually quite good against Lycan because you could just blow up all of his summons with like, you know, one streak of overpower hits. And the Lycan can never like man up and fight you, otherwise you just like cleave everything. Maybe if you have like Abyssal Blade on Lycan and you can stun him.
Career up top, it's a lot of trouble. Does somehow find its way out. The coconut save from Fly actually manages to stop the Wolves from going for the finish of that career. As they continue to flirt around that top lane. It's mid lane, Ryoya getting pressured back from Bryle. This mid lane matchup is a bit closer than what we saw in the previous game of Storm versus Void Spirit. EG did draft this DK as their last pick, and he is now neck and neck in CS with Bryle. The 5-minute runes do come out. Bryle's able to snag the Radiant bounty.
Okay.
And now finds himself in trouble a bit.
Yeah, he is in big trouble.
He is not level 6. He does not have a way to quickly get out, except the TP scroll. But Fly's there. He's got the coconut. Good patience from Fly. Did not dish out that coconut too early, and they will be able to finish off the Storm.
What was he thinking?
He's greedy. He wanted the bounty rune. He's like,
teleport out in front of Witch Doctor?
Maybe he didn't get coconut. Well, fortunately for Storm, he's going to have to TP back to the mid lane and get back to the grind. He did pick up a smoke, so we'll see if that's something he plans on using on the back of picking up his level 6.
I think he used it so he could just, yeah, he's going to smoke out of base so he can just get there faster.
Really? Just the efficient move speed smoke?
15% move speed.
All right. Every little bit helps to get him to the lane that much sooner and back into the farm. Owie has rotated himself away, and looks like he's taking the full creep wave up to Bryle. Here, Bryle. This will make up for the troubles.
Yeah, he'll get 6 here. He'll be able to maybe make a rotation or do something if he wants to.
Dive back, top lane, pressure to Bulba, but Fly steps in. He's got the coconut and now has the Maldic level 2.
Yeah, Lycan's got a lot of HP regen with the Feral Impulse.
It keeps him back from the CS, but he still has the Wolves to kind of go in there and harass and get the last hits as they eat a lot of damage. Moon has to be careful. Moon went all in for the
Here comes Owie, though.
Owie shows up, walks in, gets the cogs, looking for the finish, and they're successful. It's Owie to get the last hit, and Fly goes down.
Yeah, Owie's playing really well on the Clockwork. Bit surprising for the 5 player to be owning it up on a hero he's probably not used to playing.
Yeah, he's just rotating all over the place. You mentioned before he can't really do a lot with the Lycan at the bomb. He can't really do a lot even with the Necros, so he is putting in the mileage across the map.
I love what he's doing here right now. Is he's pulling the mid wave because he knows that contesting the mid wave against Dragonite is just going to cost them. It's going to cost them regen. He's actually he's going to drag it up to the Storm Spirit who's jungling. It's like, oh yeah, little delivery.
That's really nice, and there's nobody on EG's side who could do anything about this.
Yeah, so Storm can kind of free farm this wave without. Dragonite just wants to pop Dragon Form and stun the Storm and harass him and make his life difficult.
Normally, like, it would be someone like Crit on some sort of roaming 4 who could kind of get up in there and cause problems, but he's on this AA.
Yeah, exactly. Storm is also pretty difficult to deal with early game for supports. And yeah, they got the regen top. Bryle is recovering.
All right, let's see what he can do. Regen and level 7 now.
Yeah, so now he can kind of sit up here in this area and just jungle. And if any of EG's heroes show in the top lane, he can just go gank them. And oh, yep, there's a jelly for him in Necrophos. Yep.
All right, nice snag there. They'll maintain control of most of the top half of the map. This leaves EG with really only the bottom jungle
The
and
faded,
lane.
of course he gets the faded brooch. Okay, now Bulba shows top lane. They may look to go on him here.
They do, right on cue. They roll in for Precious Bulba just as he got his level 6, as he's finished off. Good setup.
That's
good read from Crazy.
Yeah, Lycan's first ult, able to secure himself a kill. You know, maybe didn't totally need the ult, but he does help himself get some extra gold as he has his Necro 2 on the way.
Owie, battery assault, front flip though, and he's able to get into the cogs.
What?
Oh, a side bump of the cogs will prevent the chase, and Owie somehow makes it out alive.
I can't believe he lived there.
He's alive and well. It's Fly who unfortunately is not alive and well. He gets jumped top lane. Bryle still waiting in the wings of the north. Jumps in and finishes off the little support.
Bryle's pretty good at Storm Spirit.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's owning.
He's going straight
Again.
Kaya.
Yeah, this is the build on Storm. The way Kaya works, it's too good of an item on your hero. It's funny how this item has this like unique ability to be amazing for just like one specific hero in the game.
Is that really a good item at that
another,
point for Dota?
Yeah, there's another item too. I'm gotta remember who it was.
Like Midas is only good on a
On
couple of people. One Ogre in pubs.
Yeah, Ogre. You're right.
5. The 10-minute rune does pop out. Unusual tip from Fly. You don't see those very often. Giving credit to maybe Bryle and scouting out the top haste rune. He picks that one up. Continues to farm on forward. There's all this attention on Bryle and his Storm Spirit. It's only all the nicer because then they're going to end up sleeping on like Kezu's Necro, let's say, or the Lycan.
All of Crazy's cores are going to be coming at EG here pretty soon, I imagine. They have a very, very fast lineup. Storm Lycan cores, you have got to push the tempo. Ursa gets to that Battle Fury. If he gets that S and Y and Satanic after that, that's when you're in big trouble. You better have a big advantage by then.
What do you do if you're EG at this point waiting to hold the line? You have Crit here who's getting jumped. He's still just level 5 on this AA, and he will just be quick work for Owie's position 5 clockwork at this point. Well, he is making it out, but the jump is on for Arteezy behind the tower, and that's the main focus, and they're going to hit him with the Reaper's Scythe. Bulba's here, but not able to offer a whole lot of defense. In fact, he could be going down next. Moon from downtown with that beam helps burn him apart, and it's going to be Bryle getting the last hit, and they're not done. Crazy just running a train over EG in the bottom lane as they clean out 4. The only survivor being DK, who's just doing his DK thing in the mid lane.
He's pushing the mid tower, doing his job.
This is what you do. Everyone's focus is elsewhere. Pop that Dragon Form, take a tier 1, but...
And what we just saw there is exactly why people have been banning Lycan all the time.
Things just suddenly come together for the Wolfman, and he can just corral with the rest of his team and stampede.
He has really early timings, like so early. The fact that he doesn't need boots or anything, he can just skip straight to this Necro book, and you saw that was a Necro 2 in that fight. Nothing EG can do to fight that. And they did the Save Your Buddy syndrome where they all just poured in one by one, trying to help.
I hate that.
In their safe lane tower. Like, I think the second Lycan comes down to this bottom lane, you leave this bottom tower and you try to make a trade for either top or, you know, maybe you do Ancients or something on Ursa and defend your hill.
Just feels really awkward right now for EG,
on.
but they are going to try an opening onto Kezu in the mid lane with that first Ice Blast. That should be a successful finish. He goes for the Ghost Form, but there's going to be the finish. Can Bryle find a response?
There's no way that egg lives.
Very ambitious level 1 egg right into the arms of Evil Geniuses there.
Oh my gosh. Even if you hit every single hero with the Fire Spirits, I think they can still attack you twice.
Yeah.
During the Supernova duration. And that means if there's, like 2.5 heroes, you're dead.
Bryle jumps bottom, looks to go for Arteezy. Lots of damage already, but the counterplay from Ryoya stuns Bryle in his tracks, and with Crit's assistance, they are going to be able to take him down. That's a 3-times kill streak. Ice Blast there for Owie, and suddenly EG looking to come alive, but here comes big bad Wolf Skeeter. He's able to chomp down and get the finish of Arteezy. Crit's going to be next. And Crazy respawn in numbers now, looking to burn through Ryoya, who's just trying to fly his way through the trees. Fly and Bulba watch from the sides. They try their best to help him out. He is on the run, but here comes the Reaper Scythe.
Oh, I think it's enough.
And it's enough to help in getting the finish. Double Maledict is there, but there is not enough of a follow-up. All the damage dealers are dead, and it's another favorable trade for Crazy. They own this bottom lane, and they can hold the line at mid. Nobody wants top.
Yeah, I think Storm managed to live there. Is that correct? Was able to zip out.
Yep. He's still
really good clockwork ultimate from Aoi there to stop Ursa and I think it was Legion maybe or DK. I don't know. There's two heroes on top of each other.
Man, Clock has really good stats for not having any items, I gotta say. 1240, he's only got Tranquils and a Wand, but he's still able to do so much in these fights. All right, here we go. What's the response from EG? They take 2 hard shots in this bottom lane. You know, you had an awakening period, I guess, if you can call it that, with AA getting his level 6, and now you have Ice Blast to use.
Dragon Knight's Blink also super nice for helping that Ice Blast connect.
Absolutely. Question is that going to be enough to stall things out for this Ursa to be a problem?
He is getting close to Battle Fury. Not too far away from it now.
But this should just be crazy kind of go, 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 right? Is there any reason they should be slowing momentum down? Is it for a specific item timing?
Yeah, let's see here. What do they got? Storm's not really close to much. I think they can pretty much just go. They're not waiting for anything major.
They are going. They're circling the Roche pit. It's Aoi spotted out, though, and quickly jumped. But here comes a response. Bryle slides through, hits them both, gets the pullback for Arteezy. Going to be forcing out the ultimate now, and Skeeter begins to go to work. He is hit with the Maledict, and now the A going to be committed. And it's quickly popped again by EG. And they're going to be in a bit of trouble now. Ryoya gets gobbled up. They look for Bulba next, and he gets sent to the Shadow Realm.
All 3 cores down.
Oh, man. Another. 3 straight fights for Crazy, taking out cores.
Yeah, 3 cores for 2 supports. Another ambitious egg, but kind of achieved its purpose. Phoenix did die, but got EG's attention.
Yep.
Enough for them to die quickly after.
Yeah, it allows Necro to sweep in, allows Lycan to continue to go to work, and those 4 seconds to attack the egg was just enough time. Here we see they just cleaned out Aoi, so they decided to respond a slow track up to the high ground, and there's the egg. You know, 3 EG members put their focus onto it, but that means Lycan and Necro can just go to work onto the cores and clean them out.
Storm had an Arcane Rune that fight as well. It's Kaya plus Arcane Rune on Storm is definitely OP.
There's some serious magic happening there, as he will also get a Haste Rune. Bryle just seriously blessed this series, it seems.
Yeah, having
his player stock should be going up a lot.
Potentially a Mercedes MVP performance.
Damn. Couldn't agree more. If Crazy can pull out the W here, jump onto Moon. He tries to fly away, but certainly enough damage. Here we go. Aoi says, I want redemption from my fallen support comrade. He looks to catch out Crit from the front, meets him with the battery assault. And here comes Bryle trying to clean things up. He gets Fly, and he gets that kill on Crit. Double kill.
Oh, man, too bad he doesn't have this Bloodstone. He would be racking up the charges. And they might go on the Dragon Knight. Nope.
Long jump. Bryle needs more mana. Follow-ups there, but not enough. And as you mentioned, just a bit too deep. I don't think his team can quite catch up to that, so they pull off for now. You know, EG do recognize there's not much else they can offer to the bottom lane, so they are trying to split the farm elsewhere. We see Bulba going to work. He's really trying to get that Blink Dagger. It's nice they have the DK Blink Dagger, but they need a bit more. If they can have DK lead off the show and then Bulba's able to grab backliners and just kind of take him out of the fight, that would be very helpful.
Provide any sort of lockdown for the Storm Spirit. It's something their lineup really lacks. Absolutely. All they really have is that Legion Commander and Dragon Knight disables.
Absolutely. The more opportunities to jump and get locked down, the merrier for EG.
However, I think EG will probably still need to wait for, I guess, Arteezy's BKB. That's the first item he's going after is Battle Fury. I wouldn't say he's fight ready quite yet. Whereas I believe Crazy is good to go anytime.
And can't feel good for Crit to play AA. It's just not his kind of hero, as they do make a move bottom lane. He's got the cold feet. Come on, Crit, show us the plays. Ice Blast finds connection, but
no, it misses.
It did miss?
Yep. Oh, just barely, but it wouldn't have changed anything. They lacked the damage. Necrophosis, he's doing the pipe build. Quite good versus the AA, and they might try top with their Blink. They have a good ward for Storm.
There's the move.
They need
There's
the duel.
the Maledict. Bulba can't get in for the duel, though.
He
waits.
He got blocked.
He almost caught him jumping out with the duel, but here comes Lycan now. For round number 2, Bulba, he tried to TP away, but Owie meets him with the hook shot, locks him within the cogs, and Bryle can kind of go over and get the clean out of DK. They finish out Bulba, and it's crazy. Taking more here as they will also get Captain Fly. Up, and away we go for Crazy. 18-12 and a 7K net worth advantage at just 19 minutes in.
That's got to be super frustrating. Witch Doctor actually blocked the Legion Commander from being able to run up there and duel the Storm. Also, I think the Maldic missed or wasn't used, so he was able to zip out and bottle back up and re-enter the fight.
Here, we'll check it again.
Yeah, look at
no.
Was like, I can't get down.
Couldn't get there, couldn't get the Maldict. Storm was able to zippity doodah out of there.
And then Moon with another egg that gets killed, but like, yeah, they get the egg, but Dragon Knight's dead.
Yeah,
now.
it don't matter. It don't matter. I mean, Moon is going to be in the grave, but he's grinning from ear to ear.
At some point, he is going to get level 12, and then his egg's not going to die anymore.
He's also going the halberd too.
Yeah.
And they recognize this is mostly on Arteezy.
He made the decision to skip the Spirit Vessel, which most Phoenix will go. Partially because they have a Legion Commander stun, and they have the Enrage from Ursa as well, which is a Dispel. So do you think just the halberd,
Yeah. Do you think there is even need for a Spirit Vessel this game? I mean, I suppose Owie could get it if needed.
No, I think they made the conscious decision just to pass on it this game, due to just Legion Commander having a Dispel and Ursa having his own Dispel, and
yeah, fair enough.
Both these heroes are going to buy BKBs, and just better to get the halberd early. It gives them a little bit of evasion. You can actually miss the egg, right? If the Phoenix has any sort of evasion, I believe.
Really? I have no idea if that's how it works.
I might be lying.
That seems kind of.
Well, I know if you have a Radiance on Phoenix, then you know how Radiance has a miss chance.
Yeah.
You still get affected by the Radiance even if Phoenix is in Supernova. Okay. So then you can miss. I actually don't think halberd.
It might be like the Radiance has the burn effect, which causes the miss.
Yeah,
whereas,
exactly.
The butterfly is just like an innate item. But there's the halberd, or the halberd rather, not the butterfly. It is complete. So could be trouble for Arteezy if they do not suspect it, thinking that he can jump in for a big combo of damage and then suddenly find his hands tied. And already EG are down like 3 or 4 straight skirmishes.
A lot of ports bottom. They knew Phoenix ported top.
Here they go. Fly dishes out the coconut early and a blinking from Ryoya, but they can't find the targets. And now a long jump in from Bryle.
Are they going to do this? Seems like a scary fight without your Phoenix.
They committed the shapeshift. Oh, Bulba jumps back for the Lycan. Does manage to catch him, but he just hands over free damage. It was a long leap in, and Owie catches them in crossing with a beautiful setup of the cogs, and it's going to allow Crazy to now converge into said cogs and clean out 3 quickly. Ryoya goes down for 70 seconds with that Reaper Scythe.
That was 5 versus 4 for in EG's favor there, and they lost that team fight handedly.
Yeah.
I'm worried, man. I think this, I don't know. I don't really know what their answer back into this game is. I suppose Ursa's BKB, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough.
Might be just too little too late at this point. If Crazy are able to kind of sidestep the Ursa and wipe out everyone else, Ursa could just be left by his lonesome when the BKB does conclude. But Crazy in a real nice spot. They are farming both jungles, it looks like, at this point. EG are already like in this buddy-buddy system mode now, and they have to just be a bit more cautious. But one component of the BKB is now complete for Arteezy, and that's just really what they're going to be waiting for. I mean, we've passed the point of the Blink DK. We've passed the point of the Blink LC. Where else do we go here for EG?
Well, BKB Dragon Knight eventually will be nice.
3 seconds, Ice Blast into the pit. Let's go crit.
Yeah, they know they're doing it, but I'm not sure there's anything they can do to stop it. Maybe he can steal the last hit with the Ice Blast.
Let's go! Too early. And Crazy just well and prepared for any potential interception.
Yep, Storm with the Aegis, headed towards a Lincoln Sphere, which is going to help him dodge both Dragon Tail and Legion Commander's duel.
And he's got 17 charges. Even though he missed out on all those charges, he's still got a fair amount. And now a DD even bottled up. Crazy with the ultimates at the ready here, with the exception of Reaper Scythe, which just needs about 5 more seconds. They can take a fight to EG and try to knock them out of ESL.
Just like that.
Just like that, which, you know, hey, props to Crazy. There's been how many qualifiers and events now where we've seen EG get away with this lower bracket run back and then take over the whole tournament. It's, you know, Crazy and Quincy Crew who have been fighting tooth and nail to try to get that #1 spot, or at least be a contender. And it looks like Crazy may finally have that day. And we just await to see what EG's game plan is going to be. They have been granted the time to get the BKB complete, Peter. So this is it. The power spike.
Yeah.
What can EG do with it?
This is action on mid.
It's Ryoya who
doesn't want to pop his BKB. But
yeah. Oh, he doesn't have it.
Oh, I thought you just said he had it.
I had Artur has his BKB.
Yes, yes.
Ryoya is very close.
Okay.
So they might be waiting for that too.
Yeah, EG's not power spiked yet.
I didn't even know DK was that close to the BKB until he got jumped there in mid lane. So that makes sense. Hold off on the spikes here. EG need another moment. But it's time that Crazy can afford. They still have the Aegis.
Now he's got it. Yeah, EG may want to wait for the Aegis to expire on Storm Spirit before they take a risk outside of the base, but they will get further and further behind.
If EG don't win the next skirmish, is it pretty much GG? I mean, you have BKBs now. It really can't feel like there's a lot of options left if they can't make the most out of this.
They need a close fight at the very least. I wouldn't say they have to win the fight because I think that'll be really difficult. But if they can, if they can kill the Storm or somehow kill the Lycan.
Yeah, maybe even just breaking even would feel
it would
really good for EG.
It would be a win.
More time the merrier for Ursa to get to the later innings.
I mean, really, it's just the kills on Storm and Lycan because they're just so far ahead. These are the guys that are on streaks as well.
Really cold feet. Jumps through the bottom here as Arteezy and Storm trade out on one front, and we have Lycan diving in through the mid lane on the other. He quickly handles Crit, who's also going to get hit with the Reaper Scythe. They'll be out for a minute. Does have buyback, but he already committed the Ice Blast. So we'll just see if he wants to buy back to have his other spells at the ready. Crazy not quite following through.
Yeah, it's really scary for them to leave the base. The fact that they can just get jumped at any second by Storm Spirit. I think Bulba and the Legion Commander needs to be ready to counter-initiate on that Storm Spirit. But once he has Lincolns, they're in big trouble. Here they go.
They're committing in. Hard shots onto little Kezu Necro as was pretty much alone on that.
Yeah, EG had these wards set up and Crazy didn't have them cleared, so they probably know it's there now, but it's going to give EG some space to get out on the map and a Necrophos kill for Legion Commander. Quite useful.
DK form was committed. So we'll see if Crazy try to quickly turn back on the back end of that and use the final timing of their Aegis to go on the offensive. Otherwise, I imagine, let's say they're not able to make anything happen out of this Aegis. Do they have a lineup that can afford to stall out for the next Roche? Or should they continue to really push the pace?
I think they can handle the Ursa, but I've seen I guess he's not really going to SNY Satanic, so he's not going to be unstoppable. I felt like he needed the Basher for some additional lockdown, which makes sense.
Smoke movement from Crazy here as they head through the mid lane, and a response smoke from EG as they do manage to blink and get a catch onto Aui's Clockwork, but at that same moment, Ryoya jumps for the back lines and will clear out Crit pretty easily.
Yes, Storm still has Aegis, so...
Yep, he's low on mana, but if he dies, he could... Well, he's just bulking up the mana now. Jumping in, getting more charges. Now gets into the arms of Arteezy, who bashes him down a little bit, but... not enough to go for a finish. It's just 2 taken down from EG's side, taking the DK off the table again, really without the Dragon form. And now that's going to be the Aegis expired. So we'll see what Crazy want to do with this next window of time. Obviously still in a much more commanding position at 17K of net worth, but it is about trying to close things out. likely want to play this one on the safer side. They're one game away from moving into grand finals. And you don't want to risk kind of handing over any unnecessary kill streaks and feeds to EG and to this Ursa, who could suddenly show up in the later game.
Yeah, Crazy probably going to wait for Roshan here before they try to push high ground. But I wouldn't put it past them to jump EG if they catch them outside the base.
Yeah, Crazy still farming most of the map.
I do worry that Ursa is not going to be able to 1v5. And if you look at the net worths, Moon Meander on the Phoenix is transitioning into a core. He has more farm than the Dragon Knight at this point, who has continued to just die and die and die.
Yeah, my goodness. Moon Meander's scooting his way towards that Shivas.
But he's had to, Dragon Knight has had to be the one to jump in and make plays for EG. His blink stun plus some follow-up from A and Witch Doctor has been the only thing netting them kills in this game so far.
Yeah, he's definitely trying his best to jump in and set things up, but it usually just ends up leading to DK's fall shortly after. Here he goes again, a jump in right into Cogs though. Moon sweeping through.
Re-engage.
Catching some EG stragglers as they try to step
Stone
off.
bash.
But they just immediately put the pressure onto Fly. Fly somehow surviving for now, but Bryle goes back in for round number 2 and cleans his plate.
Yeah, he's got the arcane right.
EG scrambling to make it inside, but boom! They bash down Arteezy. He's forced to BKB, ult and everything to flip up to the high ground and make it away. Bryle wants to chase, can't quite catch up to the bear. And Ryoya also forced to pop the BKB and run inside the fountain. That's BKBs in all their defense to get away from trouble.
Very difficult for them to fight now. But it looks like they will wait for the next Lycan ult. Potentially wait again for that Roshan. They continue to build their lead, and we saw how effective the Lincoln Sphere was in that fight. Bulba did find an opportunity to get a duel on the Storm Spirit, but Lincoln Sphere canceled it.
And what do they have to pop the Lincolns, right? It's like AA has to help.
Yeah. They have Witch Doctor Cask. They've got Cold Feet.
It sucked to not have those in the real part of the fight, too, though.
Dragon Tail. Yeah, they have.
They need all those.
They need to use a big spell in order to break the Lincolns, and then they need another big spell to lock them down.
And then that means you got nothing for everyone else on Crazy. This is a recipe potentially for disaster for EG unless they can somehow dig deep and find a hidden win condition.
Lincoln's is a great item for Storm when he feels like he doesn't need a BKB. It just you can block so many targetable spells every 12 seconds, as well as giving yourself some additional regen and stats.
Is that value plate mail for now, but here we go. EG know that they got to make something happen. They dive right out. They do get the swift takedown of Necro. It will cost them Fly with the response there from Bryle. R2 are super low, chasing down and running away. But Bryle on the chase. They are going to force out the ulti, and they just walk the bear back. On the other front, they leash down the dragon. He is able to leap back down to the ground, but they are just slowly walking him back. EG just hightailing it north, looking for another home base to run into if possible. But Crazy just going in with the Bloodhounds to find them within the trees. Somehow... Oh, I thought they made it out.
I thought he made it out too.
He did not make it out.
Only AA did.
Wow. AA made it out. I thought Artur made it out and AA died, but not the case. Artur is down and out. 70 seconds without a buyback. Crazy 25K of a net worth advantage. They came into the series, and if they just get the W here, I'd say it was a dominating performance. Game number 1, sure. Very close for EG at the early part of it, but once that troll got the BKB.
I'd rather not be reminded of game number 1, if you don't mind.
Lots of pauses, lots of non-flashbacks of that screen.
I think Scary was just bad-mannering EG last game, not buying the BKB. Getting in their head. It's really hard to come back after a... Imagine playing a 65-minute game with constant pauses, where you're 20,000 gold up, and then all of a sudden you lose.
It's a lot of mental damage right there for sure.
Yeah, EG, a very strong team. A lot of lower bracket runs, a lot of game 3 victories, but tough. That's tough for everybody.
And now in yet another tough situation here with backs against the wall, totally sheltered inside with few options to be able to make it out safely to get farm. It's Crazy who are in total control and are now beginning to game plan a way to breach into the high ground. Certainly on the back of an Aegis here as the Roche is spawned up, will be scouted. They already step out from the pit, anticipating probably the Ice Blast to come. Here they go in to go for it. EG smoke out. Here it is, Peter.
This is it, huh?
Is this the do or die?
If they make it there in time, which they won't.
Is this ESL's?
No,
is this EG's ESL life? No.
Get back in the base.
No. Run, everybody. Run. Run. Uh-oh. Bryle. Looking around. Ooh, EG. They do make it to the other side of the map.
I think Crazy's pretty content just to go push a lane here, but no vision in the Radiant jungle, and they had the Lycan summon scouting, but EG gets out of there.
A long chase out from EG. They sought to go for a comeback play at the Roche, but Crazy get it done much faster than they expect, and now it's back to waiting indoors for EG and seeing what the approach from Crazy's side is going to be.
They're starting it off with a little bit of dewarding, clearing out these hills. Seems like they know exactly where EG's vision is.
Damn. Howie's on it. Now EG totally in the dark and inside. Not feeling good. Not feeling safe. So how do Crazy make the approach to the high ground here? If you're someone like Bryle and you're trying to jump in, who is in your crosshairs that you're hoping to kind of...
He's been focusing Witch Doctor a lot this game. I think it's just kind of a nice, easy free kill for him to start fights with. He's pretty untouchable with the Lincoln Sphere, I'd say. So anybody can just connect kills on. He also just go on cores, but they do have BKBs that they could pop.
It seems like it's easier for them to kind of, like you mentioned, jump for the supports and other roles, let the cores pop their own defensive items, and then just stall them out.
He has a gem as well, so the Glimmer Cape from the Ancient Apparition is not super useful when Storm's zipping on you.
But the push is coming again. A couple of catapults, but not enough for Crazy to rally behind.
I guess they may be waiting for Lycan's BKB before they force, or they're just going to build, like, one of those 50,000 gold leads.
They're all spread around the map. They know that they're just farming at this point. They're like, we're farming, we're making more money. EG are not making any money right now, so our net worth advantage is going to continue to rise up. They were at 25K, now they're at 31K.
But now there's a double damage rune. And he hands off the gem because he wants to slot up his Shiva's Guard.
Oh, yeah. Shiva's on Moon. Moon 4th in net worth on this Phoenix.
Jump on bottom.
And they see a little AA. A little crit.
A little too far out.
Yeah, not usually a performance, not a hero. We see crit on a whole lot. Unfortunately, not able to make that big impact we've seen even in the game number 1 with the Clinks. Jump in from Owie now. Manages to push Bulba forward and allow Bryle to go in and help secure the finish with Kezu's Reaper Scythe. Owie will pay the price for that initiation.
And
but double buyback is going to be forced out from EG.
Yeah, EG's in a spot where they need all 5 of their heroes to do anything, and sometimes when the enemy team jumps in your base, like, it's kind of hard to see if your buyback is going to be impactful or not, but you kind of just need to use it. So they go ahead and pop both, and Crazy says, okay, well, 2 buybacks, our clock's dead. We'll just wait for him to spawn and maybe go again when he's back up.
25 seconds till that point. They draw out a game plan to cut cross country, keep the pressure forward in all the lanes, keep EG inside. You can keep tabs on him.
Lycan has the Spell Prism. Oh no, he got rid of it. He wants the Illusion Escape. I was going to say, that's kind of cool. Like, decrease time on your ultimate cooldown as well as your other spells. It's just for your spells, though, right? Not
items.
Oh, there's a little supernova in the water up here. I don't know if you can catch that. Just
okay. Can we get that on stream, please?
Yeah, please.
Can we please get that Moon Meander random egg on stream?
A little bad manner.
Dang, Moon.
Oh no, Spell Prism is all spells and items.
Oh,
so that's, that seems really good on Lycan.
That's pretty dang value.
But he's got the Illusionist Cape, which helps him create another illusion of himself where he has AC aura. So that's kind of nice. He just got a leveler coming as well. He's got all the items.
Leveler. That is trouble for EG. One more lost fight, and that could be game. They already did commit Bulba buyback and AA buyback. Artur pockets a lot of money. He's got eyes on Rapier if they can somehow survive this one. But that is going to be a tall order here.
Aegis out.
Still don't have Moon, but Moon doesn't have eggs, so maybe they don't need Moon.
Yeah, he's been just farming it up. I feel like maybe they could have gone high ground, but you know, everybody loves Dota when they're winning. Why not just extend the game a little bit longer?
I mean, come on, it is one more game into grand finals.
True.
Probably playing it just a little safer than usual. Really want to make sure you don't give that chance for EG to come back. I mean, imagine EG come back and then you're going to a game 3. You would not be feeling good at Crazy. Being at a 35K net worth advantage and then suddenly the game's over.
Yeah, they also kind of won the last game in a similar position to the one EG is in at the moment.
Correct.
However, I think EG might have bigger problems than Crazy had in the previous game.
Yeah, I'm not looking at Artur saying he just needs that one item and everything can change. I mean, maybe Rapier is that item, I don't know, but
no,
that seems incredibly risky.
He just can't even connect on his damage. That's kind of the issue. He just gets kited and stunned and locked down, and there's this big supernova egg sitting somewhere that he has to worry about.
Do you happen to remember when they picked this Ursa? Was it a second pick Ursa?
It was...
I can't remember.
Yeah, I want to say it was Ursa Witch Doctor 2-3 against a first pick Phoenix.
It's the second time we've seen them. They favor RTZ picks in the first phase. It allows the opportunity for your opponents to kind of build a lineup around it. And here they seem so fast and so elusive. Arteezy is just leaning on Bulba and his supports to try to lock them in their spot so he can go to work.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of other teams really just kind of favor these, I would call them like more bland picks, right? Like the Dragon Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way they can hold their last pick for their hard carry to make sure that he has like, hey, if the game goes 40 minutes and it's kind of a stalemate, are we still in a good spot? But when you pick the Ursa really early, it's kind of on the, here we go, maybe some action.
Pull back onto Ryoya. He's not using the BKB yet, so he goes down. He's dead for good.
No
maybe anticipating that was just going to be a quick jump in, jump out from Bryle, but now there's going to be no DK for 100 seconds. And 2 catapults begin sieging away from the low ground here. The Wolves are going to get set in. Maybe Aoi looking for a hook shot to connect. The EG support's all waiting behind. Bulba waiting to bail out Arteezy. Oh, was that an offensive force forward? Shoving Arteezy into Team Crazy if possible. He's now got to flex the ult and the BKB. Can he find anybody? Not even Kezu looking like an easy target, as he's got the Aeon disc. And now Artur on the run. That might be it. That will be it. Crazy have finally done it. They will best EG here, eliminating them out of ESL, and have earned the right to face off against Quincy Crew in a rematch in the grand finals of North